Hey. So, kind of stressed? This is Denise Wellick-Peterson with Hormone Bootcamp. Today we're going to talk about the effects of stress and on your cycle and how that has to relate to menopause. So first and foremost, let's talk about, are you stressed? Right? So sure, there's a lot of people stressed out right now. But if you're an introvert who already works from home and your kids aren't suddenly at home or your husband's not suddenly at home with you, has your stress level actually changed? So we'll come back to that in the end. All right, next up, let's talk about chronic versus acute stress. So there's a couple of different kinds of stress, right? So chronic stress is something like unemployment, being shut in, being really busy at work. Your kids are suddenly home. Your college-age kids are suddenly home. You're under or over-exercising. You're under or overfeeding. Versus acute stress looks like a big fight with your partner, your boss yelling at you, a car crash, a heart attack, a lion chasing you. Yes, we got to go back to that lion chasing you because we're dealing with a 10,000-year-old design or more, right? And stress was meant to be something that was able to save your life, right? So you see a lion sitting over there and you go, oh shit, I gotta run because here it comes. And in order to run faster, your body shoots up the cortisol, shoots up the adrenaline, sets aside all of those rest and digest hormones. Don't care if you just ate. We don't have time to digest right now. Don't have any time to not get sick right now. Don't have any time to heal that wound. Don't have time for sex. Don't have time for having babies. We must run. That is all that is going on. We must run. All other systems are shut down. And that cortisol gives you that burst of energy to be able to run for your life, climb a tree you never thought you could climb, and live another day, right? So a couple things happen there. Your cortisol shoots up, but you also ran that cortisol off. Think about that versus how it feels when your boss is hollering at you. You're in your boss's office. You're like, oh shit, I'm in trouble, heart palpitations. Your boss starts screaming at you. All of those things shut down. Digestion, libido, pregnancy, all those things shut down. Wound healing, immunity, shut down. Cortisol skyrockets, but you don't go for a run. You don't run out of your boss's office screaming, breathing heavy, and burning all that cortisol off because, well, that would be societally inappropriate. However, your body is left sitting there simmering in this stew of cortisol and adrenaline that unless you take a mega walk right away or start screaming back, doesn't get burned up. So now the body's got to deal with it. The body's got to store it. Well, now if the body is storing this cortisol, you're not going to be working on digesting the lunch. That's where that heartburn, that lump in your belly comes from. Your libido is shot, right? Like how often does your partner think, oh, well, let's have sex? And you're like, I'm just telling you my boss is yelling at me. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Right? You're not going to get pregnant because all that cortisol, no, we're running for our life. We are not supporting pregnancy, right? Wound healing. Your body's not worried about, fixing the owie on your finger because running for your life. Doesn't matter if the lion catches you with a wound on your finger. It doesn't matter. You can have the wound on your finger. Same with your immunity, which might be really important right now, right? If you are living in this state of chronic stress and not finding a way to release that stress to spend that cortisol, then your immunity is suppressed because your body is trying to fight and flight. It's trying to run and you're not running. So if you're trying to suppress it and you're suppressing it maybe by watching too much TV or scrolling or eating too much or eating all the Easter candy, no judgment. Right? Then that cortisol is swimming and you're just storing all the fat. Okay? So what does this have to do with your cycle? Okay, well, I just told you stress screws up with your cycle, right? If you are living in a chronic, super, super high state of stress, you might actually lose your period this month. You might Extend the length of your cycle. If you're a regular as rain 28-day kind of gal, you might find you're a 32-day gal, 35-day gal. Maybe you're a 21-day gal. Maybe it skips altogether, right? That kind of depends on your stress level and your physiology. But don't mistake that as menopause. Don't think that's like month 12, right? It's just stress. So those are things, might also change the color, might also change the flow, heavy and light, long, short, color, flow, skip. There, okay, I hit all the things. If you want more information on menopause and how different things are affected as we start to get older and our hormones start to do some crazy things, join me over in the Menopause Project Facebook group. It's a private group where we support one another, where I try and teach you a little something every day, ranging through everything from being an empty nester to not being an empty nester, to having sex to not having sex, to weight loss, to anxiety. We talk about it all. I'd love to see you over there. But now let's circle back here. So yeah, a lot of people are under stress right now, but I was just on a group call with a group of ladies last night, and some of us are actually like, actually, I'm not stressed. Actually, this is kind of a nice break. This is allowing me to explore something else, right? Whatever that something else is. Maybe it's allowing you to get some projects done at home. Maybe it's allowing you to explore a different education path or something like that. So why am I talking about this? Because now all of a sudden I'm seeing a lot of posts saying, hey, when you're under stress, now is not a good time to start a new diet or start a new nutrition plan or start a new fitness plan. I agree. If you are under a lot of stress, don't add stress by having to figure out a new nutrition plan or a new fitness plan. But if now all of a sudden you find, I've got the time to explore this diet, I've got the time to explore this fitness avenue, well then by all means, feel free, right? It's an awesome time if you're not stressed out, if you're not worried about feeding your kids or teaching your kids or figuring out where your next meal is coming from. If you're doing okay, by all means, give something like that a try. Now is perfect. Lots of people are putting workouts out there, diet plans, thoughts. Explore some of that. And yeah, I got one too. So I do have the ultimate guide to carb cycling and fasting in menopause, because fasting especially is very different for women than it is for men. It's totally free. And I got a little treat coming for you when you pick that up. Nowgetgoing.com/theultimateguide. Have a most fantastic afternoon.